All right. Well, we're on. We're live. Let's go.
Howdy, y'all.
Um, it's Isaac here, and I'm here at Dalton on another episode of the Unrealized Purpose podcast. Um, anyways, on on another note, we have 92 subs, 90, 93 now on YouTube, growing slowly. It's great.
Awesome.
What?
I said awesome.
Yeah, yeah. A lot more people are actually seeing our stuff, which is pretty cool. Kind of just doing this as a hobby right now. I find it enjoyable
I
discussing
love
the
it.
discussing the problems of the world.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
every time I go to get a coffee at Starbucks and I sit with the old people, we solve like at least three world problems. So
dude, yeah, that's really where it's at. Coffees at McDonald's and Starbucks, where there's like nine old people just
yeah,
discussing. Who knows?
yeah, or breakfast. Great. Old people are great.
Yeah, I mean, didn't we make that point last week? If you want life
Yeah.
advice, go and talk to people who had lived a life, you know?
Out of life, yeah. I
Yeah.
like I like putting it that way. So you want life advice, talk to someone that has one. It's a
Yeah, I'm
little
not.
harsh, but
I don't know. I mean, I saw this tweet the other day. It was like, if you want to be successful, go and hire a 19-year-old life coach. It's like, well, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
don't know about that one. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, today's topic, we we actually asked AI to make us a list of what was the actual question? Let me look it up real quick. What is the purpose of life according to Jordan Peterson? And this is what AI came up with, and it's got some good points. So we're going to discuss those and see where it goes. So anyway, the first one it came up with is the purpose of life is to find meaning. Um, and yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty basic. What are your thoughts on that one?
It is pretty basic. Yeah, I think it's find, search for it. Some I would say some people don't actually search for it, so it's kind of a good place to start, If you're like, why don't I
Yeah,
have meaning? You know, well, maybe you should start trying to find it. Um, if you're not doing anything, maybe do something different, get out of your norm.
yeah,
Not you're not doing anything, but you're doing a bunch of stuff maybe, and you're just, you know, not feeling it. Try something else.
yeah.
Trial
I,
and
I
error.
guess it is basic, but it's true. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe a
pretty
lot of people
basic.
just it's like I think consumerism. I think I said that. That's the right word, consumerism. You know, people just pursuing items rather than pursuing, you know, why they want it. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, anyways, second thing on the list is the purpose of life is to take responsibility for oneself and others, and I agree with this one 100%. I think responsibility is the foundation for having some meaning, take some responsibility, and then it gives your life a little bit of purpose. Um,
Yeah, I like take responsibility for oneself and others.
yeah,
Um, this really kind of includes like, when you get married, you're responsible for your wife, you're responsible for the kids that you have. We don't have any kids yet, but I can I can kind of imagine a little bit the level of responsibility that that's going to take.
can't
Not
imagine.
completely, but yeah, it's definitely that's a big one. Definitely a purpose there.
Yeah, especially in relationships, I feel like even married couples, like you have some responsibility for, each other. It's a good place to start. Um,
Yeah. It's goes along with the with with your relationship, your marriage, um, whether you're married or not, or it's, your girlfriend or you're living together. You've got responsibility for one another. I would say here's a good way to put it. You have responsibility for those in your life that you love. Um,
yeah,
and I would even add that you hate. So for the both of them. So there's a tough one to think on for a little while.
yeah. I mean, yeah, 100%. I'd have to think about that one a little bit. How would you take responsibility for the people that you dislike or hate?
I think a lot of times the ones that we dislike, we kind of cut off, and I don't think that's always the appropriate answer. Um,
Yeah,
I think sometimes the more appropriate answer is to, uh, I just put it, teach. Um, there's some scriptures that go with that. Um, love your enemy. Uh, so in everything that follows love, relationship, even though they don't, you well know they don't like you, but you still treat them appropriately, and you don't act upon their um, persistent efforts to get a reaction out of you, I would say. So um, I don't know if that answers the question.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I think maybe having some empathy there as well with people that maybe hate you or are rude to you. Like, why are they rude? Um, I know people that work in customer service jobs, the people that are horrible to them that day. Oh man, like I almost guarantee those people aren't horrible people all the time. They just had a really bad day and you just happen to be the person they're taking it out on. But I mean, there are some horrible people out there. But
That is true. I know. I know there are.
I
I've
know
met some of them.
that.
So um, I know some that have changed and I know some that have not. So, but
Good point. Good point
anyways,
there.
number three, we ready to move on?
Yeah, let's do it.
Uh, individuals must confront the challenges of life and take on responsibility to create order from chaos and to find fulfillment. That sounds like something Jordan Peterson would say. Did you say you actually wrote his name into the?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So AI was like, let me watch some Jordan Peterson videos and then made some videos and sent it back to you in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah, because I know Jordan likes that word chaos, order from chaos. That's something he says all the time. What's your thought on this number three?
I think I think whenever you're looking for responsibility or you're looking for a purpose in life, I agree 100% on this because he talks about this quite a bit. And um like find something that bothers you and like it's a luxury to go after something that makes you happy, but it's your duty to go after something that bothers you and try to fix it. Like, is there, I mean, something that's been on my mind a lot is how masculinity is attacked, how people feel like they have no purpose. And that's something I'm trying to speak to in my content more and more. because it's a problem that I see, that I would one day, like to, be a stronger voice on it. I think, and I'd say that's my little challenge or bit of chaos I'm confronting and working my way into that to try to find some fulfillment in my life a little bit, I guess. Yeah,
I
that's
like
my
that.
take on that.
It's good. Confront the challenges, um, just like you chase after, what's that quote? Uh, the freedom of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Um, you said pursuing happiness is, or luxury, uh, is, it's great if you have it, but also that you have the duty. You mentioned the word duty, and I like that because it truly is your responsibility and your duty, whether you like it or not, to confront the things that are challenging you.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I like
And
that.
I I've noticed a common thread or with people that have made a lot of money, a lot of young people, is that once they've made a lot of money, they start to ask a lot of deeper and bigger questions and start to try to help a lot of other people. Um, I don't know if you've heard of, like, one guy comes to mind. Actually, a couple of guys that are really just kind of well known right now. But it seems like they're trying to help a lot of people, help a lot of young people make money, find some purpose and stuff like that. And but they're filthy rich, and now they're doing this. And one of them is Luke Belmar. I don't know if you've heard of him. Really smart dude. He's like probably like 26 or something like that, and he's a millionaire. Um, kind of confront, kind of controversial. Andrew Tate, rich, but is also trying to help people in to a degree. So it's like once people have found money, sure, or have gotten the money, they try to pursue something that is a bit of a challenge or a little bit of a chaos in the world. I don't know. Have you noticed the same?
Yeah, I've noticed both. Um, when when it seems things that you think are big problems in your life, like one, I think is money. I think people look at that as a really big thing that they have to cover. And, obviously all of us want to, provide for, our well-being, and we don't want to be, stuck in an endless, pointless job or occupation. We want something that is meaningful. But I think that you can do that regardless how much money you got. You can you can you can choose in your youth to do it. Um, and you can choose when you get older. It just depends on what time you decide you're going to ask the questions. I think money, though, I think when you cut out a bunch of worries, fears,
Yeah.
then then your mind immediately goes to, okay, let me ask the deeper questions now, because my mind isn't in a state of go, 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 or else. Um, and so I've also seen, people that inherit a bunch of money, um, and they don't have anything to worry about, but their entire life just completely comes unraveled because they have no sense of direction or control. And a lot of them end up getting addicted to this or that or the other. Um, I actually remember, I'm trying to think of that. Um, oh man, my mind's skipping on me. He gives financial advice on the radio.
Dave
Um,
Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey had a kid on his show one time, and he had inherited, I don't know how much money, but he was filthy rich. And he was just on there sharing all the problems he had after he got the money. Um, and so it can be both a good thing and a bad thing. I think it still relies on the person, though, of whether they
True.
make the decision to pursue it at whatever time in their life they need to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that flip side of the coin there because you don't have to have a lot of money to do this or to look for purpose or ask deeper questions. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. But all right, so want to move on to the next one? We got
yeah,
three
let's
more.
move. Got three
All right.
more.
So this fourth one, I believe, is pursuing goals that align with one's value and beliefs is crucial to living a meaningful life. Um, I think we kind of talked about this already, but I think I definitely think that goals play a huge part of of building some sort of meaning. I know whenever I don't have any goals or anything, it's just I feel like I'm stuck or just kind of without purpose, even. Like if I don't have anything I'm striving for, then it's like you're kind of just lost at that point. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Um, Pursuing goals that align with one's values and beliefs. So we're basing our goals off of what we value and what we believe. Um, guess the key thing there is what do you value and what you believe is good and bad, which kind of points to um, morals to a degree. So you kind of got you can pick a goal and it can be a bad goal. Um, I
Yeah.
don't know that I really hear very often of people picking bad goals. Occasionally I will. That's normally they're normally pretty low people, not to be judgmental, but um uh your values and beliefs um ought to be based off of, um something that is has been solid for 100 plus years. I just put it that way. Um, that way, when you base your goal off that. But I agree with you as far as goals. Like if you're just sitting there going through life and you don't have that next step you need to take, it can get you can feel like you're stuck. So,
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be like a monetary goal either. Like it could be something pretty big that you kind of break down into tiny steps. Like you think you just said that where yeah, it's kind of like a big life goal. Yeah. Okay. So this fifth one is contributing to something greater than oneself is also important for finding meaning. I know when Dalton read this one, he had a aha moment. But do
lifeboat.
you, yeah, what was your big your big thought when you saw this one?
I liked it because I think after you told me AI created it, I was like, this is interesting. Um, because it's contributing to something greater than oneself is also important for finding meaning. And I like contributing to something greater than oneself, that first part, because um, I'm a Christian. And so, I believe that there's a great creator. And so when you're contributing to something greater than oneself, my mind immediately goes to, okay, I'm contributing to something that is much bigger than me. And when I think of something that's much bigger than me, I think of God. And so then as we look at that and we hop over to the second half is also important for finding meaning when you're contributing to something greater, when you're searching out for, and this is a great question to ask, what why is there meaning to life? Is there meaning to life? This I think it all kind of points back to, well, is there a great creator that gave us meaning? where does meaning come from? Where do goals come from? Why are these things the way that they are? Why can't we just live the way that we want to a degree? Why can't I just keep eating Twinkies all day? I really like Twinkies. I don't see anything wrong with that. It's like but there is, we all know that. Um, and so I think this question, as Jordan Peterson would put it, begs the question, um, what gives goals? What gives life meaning? Who gives life meaning? And so that's why I loved that one. That was my favorite one out of all of them.
Yeah.
So
Damn it, dude. There's a lot to unpack there.
it's all right. We don't have to unpack it all.
Um, yeah, but I like the kind of to summarize, from what I heard from you, is like contributing to something greater than oneself is also important for finding meaning. Um, finish this for me. Well, you had a one-liner. I'm trying to summarize
Oh,
this.
okay. Shoot. What did I
I think
say?
it was something about like and then if you can contribute to like is also contributing to someone that is damn it, should have been
Shoot. We're
recording
gonna we're gonna have to we're gonna have to go
before this
back and you're gonna
podcast.
look through it. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch this and then I'm gonna talk about it on this next episode. So,
Okay.
but
I don't know what I said. I'd have to go back. I'd have to completely rethink that over again.
yeah,
Yeah. Anyways, they can rewind. They'll go back and be like, that's what Isaac was talking about. So
yeah. All right, so I want to hit this last one.
yeah, let's
Um,
go for it.
all righty. To live a meaningful life, one must take on challenges, find purpose, and take responsibility for oneself and others. And I feel like that's a summary of like all of the previous ones, but I think
Totally
it's a good
agree.
way to I think it's a good way to end is by discussing this one. So um,
Yeah,
I think I think in that one line it definitely summarizes it because like to have a meaningful life, you want to take on challenges that may or may not affect you immediately. Um, and then you want to take responsibility for yourself, your own actions, as well as the actions of people that you love, and that'll give you a form of purpose. Um, but yeah, uh, any thoughts on that one?
I liked what you said when one must take on challenges, and then you added that may or may not affect you. Um, I like that thought because that's the majority of the fear behind people taking on a new challenge is they we overthink of how is this going to affect me. Um, and and a lot of times we think of the worst possible case scenario that could happen, which is a good thing to do sometimes. But sometimes it drives us so far away from ever looking at a challenge or something that could, you know, completely change our life for the better.
Yeah,
So I guess weighing the pros and the cons and thinking about it, taking on challenges uh, definitely leads to a more meaningful and purposeful life.
yeah.
So
I think I think the highlight though of taking on challenges is taking on challenges that or problems in the world that you see and that just kind of bother you because
mhm.
there's a lot of other challenges that bother other people that they can take on. So find what bothers you, find what you see you can improve. And that's kind of been my journey through building a brand on social media is trying to hone in on what I want to what challenges am I going to take on? Um, so
I like that. Find what bothers you, and what was the word you used? Said find what bothers you and take it on.
probably
Something deck. Same thing just happened to me. I heard you say
gonna have
something.
to
Find what bothers you and face it. It was something like that. Um,
find what bothers you and take it on because it probably only bothers you and a handful of other people. So like take that one on and then let other challenges go because because it bothers you, you know, a lot of other
right.
things are going to impact and bother other people. So, um, yeah, I mean, by you taking responsibility for something that bothers you, it lets other people take on responsibility for other things. And I feel like it could be circular, like everything.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I noticed AI here. If you look at the second goal, it says the purpose of life is to take responsibility for oneself and others. And then at the last goal, the last line is responsibility for oneself and others. AI is a little repetitive here. I think they kind of copied two and pasted over into the six. A little bit there.
Possibly. It's probably just a summary. So, but
Yeah, it's
yeah, I
pretty good.
mean, I think I think if you're using AI though, fair warning out there, you need to validate that and validate what
Yeah.
it's coming up with. That's my take on AI. It's like it does produce some good stuff, but be sure it's producing the
Cautious.
right stuff. Yeah, and make sure
Yep.
because there's going to be a lot of people that are using AI, believing everything, and then it's going to wreck their world because it really needs to be validated. So
That's
that's why
gonna
we're
be
walking
my
through each one of these things, man.
it's gonna be my next post. AI will wreck your world. No, I love that.
Yeah,
AI is 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 what man puts into it. It's equal to what
it
man
is.
puts into it. So, if you're putting purposeful things in it, AI is going to come back with purposeful things. If you're putting, you know, bad things in it, it's going to come back with bad things, I would think. But
Yeah, go do some homework on AI, man.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it all works.
It's worth check, dude. To
You're like,
listeners
Dalton, you don't know what you're talking
and
about.
Dalton, hey, I'm not gonna lie, dude. AI is gonna be it's already huge, but it's gonna be way bigger over the next few years. Um, so having a basic knowledge of how it works, where it pulls information from, you know, how it gives it to you, other tools out there is gonna be pretty big because it can automate a lot of stuff, but it can also do a lot of harm. So it can help, but it can also hurt. And if you know how it works, you can be more mindful and conscious of using them, but also potentially staying away from them. So that's my warning for the end of this episode here. Do some homework on it because it's going to be around and it's going to make a bigger impact than a lot of people think. And I mean, yeah, we can go into that, but that could be a whole episode in itself. So,
Gotcha.
well, is that you got any final words or gonna call it an episode right there?
I think we're pretty good, man. That was definitely pretty interesting. I like that. That's cool.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. And if you stayed to the end, thanks for listening.